Guys, we are going to do something different today. We are going to polish the washers and tune the action on this small Sebenza. It's a small little thing that you can do, but as I put up a disclaimer, I'm going to say it again. Anything that you do to your knife, such as this, could void your warranty. So if you're not comfortable doing it, definitely avoid it. Guys, let's turn this around and get started, and I'll show you exactly how I do this. All right, guys, we're going to do something different today. We're not doing sharpening. We're not going to do an overall review. I am going to polish the washers on this Sebenza small Tonto. And the reason is the action on it isn't as smooth as it can be. And when I had this apart for maintenance, I noticed that there was an issue with the washer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move all this stuff, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need, depending on how bad the washers are, you're going to want a very, very light abrasive. This is an Arkansas stone, very, very fine, and an ultra fine stone, which I'm going to use this Spyderco ceramic, and then I'm going to do the polishing on this leather. The final polish is going to be on this leather that has been loaded with I think 0.3 micron diamond paste. So let's move some of the stuff so I can get this knife apart. The cool thing about disassembling a Sebenza is it's really easy. You don't have to take the knife completely apart. So just wanted to give myself a little bit of room. The nice thing about a Sebenza is you don't have to take the knife all the way apart. Like I said, you can simply take the blade out, if I can line that up, by screwing out the these are so great to work with, so easy to take apart and work on. Just screwing that out. And the nice thing about this is I've got a magnetic spot on this mat where you can just put those screws, not have to worry about losing them. So we're going to just pull that out. That's all you have to do. Now I don't even have to do anything else with this. So move that off to the side. So you can see that there's some scratches where it looks like somebody wasn't really cautious about how they took this knife apart. And then there's kind of a low spot here. What I think is somebody took this knife apart and put it back together incorrectly because they didn't know how to do it. So I'm going to get these washers out. I'm going to clean them up. I'm putting them here on the mat, and then we're going to get started. I didn't mention for the actual polishing on the Arkansas stone, because Arkansas are an oil stone, I'm using the KPL Ultralight. It's about one of the best I've found for lubricating an oil stone for sharpening. So let's go ahead and get these washers off of this and start the process. All right, guys, now we're ready to start. Typically, I would only use this stone and the leather, but there's some kind of heavier scratches on these washers. Especially, you can see them a lot clearer now that I've gotten it taken completely apart and wiped them off. This knife was bought on the secondary market, so it doesn't surprise me. So we are going to start on a little bit more aggressive stone than I typically would, just to take care of it. Now, keep in mind, these are not steel, so it does not take as much. It's going to take a lot less to actually do this than you think it is. And it's simple. You just put it on your finger and you do figure eights so that you make sure you're getting even tension, even pressure across that. You don't need a lot of pressure. And so we're just going to do these figure eights on this oil stone just to clean up the surface and remove some of the scratches and things that are on this. And you can see it does not take very long at all to start cleaning that up. And we're going to flip this and do the other side. Now, like I said in the intro, if you're not comfortable doing this, this would not be something I would recommend. I have modified and maintained and worked on and made knives for a lot of years now. And so you can see we've cleaned up the surface on that a lot and removed some of those deeper scratches. I'm going to go back around one more time and do a couple. And that's about all it takes. We're going to set this one aside. We'll grab this one. We'll do the same thing. The KPL Ultralight is great for this because it doesn't gum up the stone. So let's see here. And all we're really doing is we just want to make sure that this stone is there, that this washer is flat and true. And doing it this way with the figure eight allows you to do it. This is a perfectly flat stone. Let's see here. There's still a couple little scratches on this side, so we'll give it a little bit more. But with it not being steel, it does not take as much time on the stone to remove the material. So now that we've got those all cleaned up and we've got a good clean surface, as you can see, maybe a little bit more on this side. I'm not trying to take off very much material on these. I really just want to smooth out the surface and make sure that it's flat all the way around. So I'm gonna take a little bit of alcohol because I don't want to get oil on the stone we're about to use. I'm just gonna take a little bit of alcohol, clean these up, and then we'll do the final polish on these. All right, now let's take a good look at these now that they're cleaned up. You can see how much cleaner the surface is on those, which means that bearing surface, that it's going to allow it to go a lot smoother now that there's not any deep scratches. And they were actually not completely flat. I believe they may have gotten bent a little bit by somebody that took this apart and didn't know how, but you can see we've cleaned those up nice and smooth, removed all the deep scratches and knocked that. Can you see that one little area there that's really shiny? There was a low spot or a high spot on that washer where it had gotten bent and deformed. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start on this stone here, which is a Spyderco ultrafine ceramic. It's going to leave us with a really nice finish, and I can not have to worry about removing too much material because this stone is not at all aggressive. So we're going to just put it on here. No oil, no water, no nothing. We're just going to do the same thing we did on the other stone, which is just little figure eights with very, very minimal or low pressure. And we're just going to smooth this all out and get it nice and polished. And it might take a little bit. There might be some little lower areas. You can see it's starting to polish up. It's starting to look a lot better than it did. But you can see that washer has been kind of had some high spots on it, even still after we removed some material. So just going to keep going from side to side, make sure we're moving evenly, no additional pressure, just the weight of your hand on the stone, figure eights on an ultra fine, and then every once in a while just kind of rotate that to make sure that we're hitting the entire surface of that washer. Flip the washer, do it again, and you're going to feel as it gets smoother, you're going to feel that you've smoothed that out. And so those areas that are going to touch the bearing surfaces are going to move a lot smoother in that knife. And we're going to do this on both sides. And like I said, we're going to do the final polish on that leather. But you can see we've really cleaned that up a lot. You can see we're really cleaning that up. And you can see there's not a lot of material that's being left on the stone. So let's go ahead. I might speed you guys up because this part does sometimes take a while. So I actually had a camera failure. None of the stuff that I was trying to film went, so you're not going to get any slow motion, but we already switched over to the next one. So you can see by the fact that there is no actual material really depositing on the stone to speak of, you can see we're not actually removing material. We're just polishing that up, and you can see how much more refined the surface on that is, and it's just going to get even better as we continue to go. I'm going to keep doing this until I get the final result I want it. I apologize, I was going to do some slow-mo and I don't know why it did not film. I'm not using my phone today. I'm actually using a microphone that I attached to an actual camera. I'm trying to see if there's any difference in the footage. If so, the gentleman that let me borrow this camera said that I can just keep it for whatever filming I want to do for the current, and then if he needs it, he'll just come and pick it up. So I really don't think I'm going to see that much of a difference because I have used other cameras in the past, but I'm hoping that maybe that this combination of microphone and camera are going to give me a better result on my footage. So you can see there is a low spot on that, and I bet if I flip this over, you're going to see there's a high spot on that side. So yeah, this washer got deformed somehow, and I'm not going to try and completely correct that. What I'm going to try and do is polish the high spots and leave the low spot alone. Over time, it will kind of wear itself smooth. So I think we're just about done on both of these, and all we're going to do is we're going to move to the leather. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stone back in the slip so that I have a solid surface underneath. Now, you can use a different type of leather. You can use finished leather with paste if you want. I just find that I prefer this because it just holds the abrasive material better than some of the other things. And when us doing it this way, I'm not removing any material. I don't have to do the figure eight as much, but it is a good idea because it gets you the same pattern on all sides of it. So this entire slip has been loaded. And so we've got a much cleaner, more polished surface than we did. I actually have another strop that we're going to use. I'm going to get it out here in a second. I think it's going to allow us to get a final polish on it that's going to be really, really smooth. So I will fast forward this because this part is time consuming. So I'm just about done, and you can see just by looking at it on this that we've got a very good polish. I actually don't need to get the other strop out. I think this has done the job I wanted. I'm not looking for like a mirror polish. I just want to clean up the washers and make them a little more concentric and a little smoother so that the grease can actually work its way through. If it's not smooth, it's not going to work. Now, I absolutely do recommend fluorinated grease on these. Do not use, I've never had good results using, some people say, oh, I put nano oil. I've never had good results or as good a result as I have with the fluorinated grease. I've tried some other stuff. I tried some really, really expensive gun oil, and it does work on some, but for a Sebenza, it does work on some. It work on some, I mean, it does work on some, but on a Sebenza, the fluorinated grease is just about the best bet. And you can see, yeah, we've got a really nice polished end result on these. There still is a little bit on this one, but I think that those are deep enough that the grease is going to fill them. Like they're just visual. They're not really anything as deep and heavy as they were when we started. And that's one of the things, as you're polishing something, you'll notice any minor imperfections that you might have missed. So much, look at how polished those are. So let's go ahead. We'll get this knife put back together and we'll wash our hands and see how we gut the action, how much smoother it is. All right, guys, this is ready to go back together. I didn't film the maintenance. You guys have seen enough of my Sebenza maintenance videos to know how this works. The nice thing about Sebenza is that's all it takes. Right there, we are good. So you just put your screw back, the pivot back in, and then you just simply put your screw back in, your pivot screw. And that's it. We're done. We're gonna tighten this down. We're going to see how much smoother this is. I can tell you, I think it's going to be a good bit smoother than it was because those washers, oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Not quite fall shut yet, but it's really smooth. As we're breaking the lubricant around and moving the lubricant around, I can definitely feel that it's definitely better than it was. The nice thing about a Sebenza is you just tighten the pivot down until it stops. Like that's it. That's the key. Tighten it down until it stops. Way smoother. There's no drag in that. It's as I'm moving this around, the lubricant's moving around, it's getting better. That is absolutely way better than it was. I think that the washer has just gotten damaged a little bit. And the nice thing is there's no blade play. Like there's no blade play because what sets your offset is the bushing that's in the middle and your washers just sit in the perfect area. That is way better than, there you go, almost drop shut. As this lubricant works its way around, it's just going to get better. And this is a fairly new knife. This has not had a lot of time in pocket, so it's going to break in nicely. Just wanted to show you guys, if you want to try that, it is something that, like I said, can avoid your warranty. If you want to try it, it's absolutely something you can do on your own, and it just makes them better. My Sebenza, after doing my full-size Sebenza, after doing the washer polish, just got better and better over time. As a matter of fact, I'll grab it and I'll show you. It was right here on the workbench. Yeah, it's just reached a point where it is super, super smooth. The Sebenzas are amazing knives. So just wanted to give you that. It's another little thing you can have in your wheelhouse of things you can do with your knives. And like I said, keep in mind, anything I show you here, if you void your warranty, you're doing it on your own. Don't use any pressure. You don't use any pressure on the stone. So let's flip this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. So guys, there you go. Not a difficult process. You can screw it up. If you use too much pressure, you thin your washers out too much, you're gonna have problems. But one of the cool things about the Sebenza, they're very, very easy to tune the action. They come stellar to begin with. This one just kind of had some action issues that I wasn't comfortable with leaving as it was. Now it is definitely, as you see, has broken in. It's great. The action on it's super, super smooth and great. So, but like I said, do it at your own risk. If you're not comfortable doing it, you can reach out to people like me. We do things like this from time to time. So that's it on this one, guys. A little bit longer video. Sorry. If you like the videos, thumbs up. If you don't like them, thumbs down. Please tell me what you don't like. If you give it a thumbs down, you know how this works. I've got sponsors. I guarantee I threw a sponsored ad in. If not, Coffee Brand Coffee, Tempered Trail, Dull Strong Knives are my sponsors. Coffee Brand Coffee and Tempered Trails have got a discount built into their link down below. You can also use coupon code Crazy Sharp. You can use it at those vendors. It's all one word, Crazy Sharp, all one word. You can use it at Dull Strong Knife, or I'm sorry, Coffee Brand Coffee, Tempered Trail, Rosecraft Blades, Fair and Forge Knife Works, and another one coming soon that's awesome because it's going to get you a big discount for a while. I've got an Amazon store down below. Use that for any of your Amazon shopping. Take the links that are down below for my affiliates. Knife Ship Free, GP Knives, Vosteed, Artisan, Civivi. I can't remember all of them. There's so many down below. You can use those. It supports the channel. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout. And I've got a membership that I've built for the paying members. There is a private Discord. I do exclusive content. Baseline and premium guys get entered into giveaways automatically. They don't even have to do anything. The premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series. And for everyone, I have built a public Discord that you can get in on. It's the Crazy Sharp community. It's a lot of fun. If it gets bigger, there's a lot of stuff you do. There's pocket drop video or pocket drop areas. There's knife chat. There's a knife trade, all kinds of stuff. And a just for fun section. It's just a public Discord. Everyone can go in and have fun. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.